What's up, my brother? Welcome to Trust Me, bro. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Welcome to it. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good, man. Yeah, that was a hell of a game last night, man.
Man, tell me about it, man. I did not expect James Winston to go off like that. Jerry Judy, I mean, didn't overly surprise me, but man, that was a baller of a game.
Yeah, what's crazy is I traded Jerry Judy not too long ago to my friend Louie in my neighborhood league for Taysom Hill. And so I ended up getting Taysom Hill, and I think I played Taysom Hill in that league that week he went off. And then sure enough, he got Judy, the guy I traded it to. Louie got
Yeah,
Judy, the guy I traded to, and he didn't play Judy last night. He played Pittman instead. And so Pittman got him like 6 or 7 points. Had he played Judy, he would have won his matchup. I think Judy got like 36 points,
yeah,
237 yards or something like that. I know
dude,
he's
balled
he's
out.
yeah, he's balled out. I know this isn't the first time we've mentioned Jerry Judy's name. Let's see. When did we last mention him? I know he's on here for week 12. Did we mention him? Back in week 11, I mentioned him.
Week
So,
11.
yeah. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm on there. That's when he
yep.
started really emerging. Once Jameis took over QB, Jerry Judy become more relevant.
However, Judy cost me my matchup, man. I was up big time. I think I was up by like 50 points or something like that. And I thought I had it in the bag in my work league. But Jerry Judy ended up getting the guy I was playing because I was playing against a team that had Jerry Judy and Bo Nix going last night. And sure enough, man, that screwed the pooch for me, man. I
Yeah,
ended up losing that thing. Let's see. What the heck was that? Let me go back a week. Go back to week 13. So anyway, Judy, let's see, Bo Nix got him 18 points, and Jerry Judy got him 55.5 points. So he balled out. So
yeah.
yeah, I was up by about 50, and just Jerry Judy alone, knocked out 55 points. So that sunk me. Lost my matchup 168 to 185.
Yeah.
So man, just
Hey, same thing, man. I went against somebody that had Judy and Winston, and I had
oh
Chubb,
boy, yeah.
and Chubb was awful, and the other two balled out. So I lost
Yep.
that pretty bad. But man, I sent you that one win. I won by .08.
I saw that, brother. Congrats, man.
That last pick
Yeah,
came through. I was like, yes.
dude. I think that's the closest game I've ever seen, man.
Yeah,
That's fantastic, Craig.
yeah.
Congrats, brother.
Thanks,
So,
man.
so,
Knocked
you-
that one. Gets me
so,
close to clinching playoff bye. Actually, I
yeah,
think I have it clinched. I should have it clinched after this week.
nice, man. Yeah. Speaking of playoffs, so that loss last night with Jerry Judy going off, that knocked me out of the playoffs. In that league, I'm 5-8, and so I'm no longer eligible for the playoffs. It's in my work league. How appropriate. So I'll be out of that league, 100%. So I think I'm going to meet the commish and give him the trophy and say goodbye.
Yeah. Well,
And that's it.
you can
That's it
hang
for
on to
me.
it until the end of the season. You earned that.
Well, I didn't even win it last year. I think the guy that
Oh,
won it for the past 2 years lives out of town, so we didn't want to mail it to him. So,
oh,
but
gotcha.
yeah, I'm out of that league. You got to work there in order to be in the league. So this will be my final year in that
Gotcha.
league.
Gotcha.
So playing 5 leagues, I needed to trim that down to 4 anyway. So
Yeah.
it's all good. It's a mutual thing. So no biggie.
All good. All good. Well,
Yeah.
cool, man. Well, let's see what we got. I think we've got some
Yeah.
players to talk about. What are we entering the last week to position yourself for playoffs?
Yeah, week 13, and so actually one of my leagues, interestingly enough, the playoffs actually start this week, and the championship is in week 16. I don't know, for some reason they didn't recognize that we have 17 and 18 weeks of NFL. I don't know why, but I've got a bye in that league, so I've got a bye this week. So I'm really just looking for, in that particular league, I'm just looking for players that are good defenses when whatnot that play in weeks 15, 16. But yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So, all right, let's talk about some quarterbacks, brother. Who you got first on the list?
Yeah, first I'm going to throw out Caleb Williams. I know you just love Caleb Williams. You probably feel about him like I do Taysom Hill, but
Uh-huh. Yeah,
um,
exactly.
hey man, I got 3 stars on him.
Okay.
These last couple games have been pretty solid ever since they got rid of their offensive coordinator. He's kind of come unglued and
And the
started scoring
coach.
points, and now they've got rid of Eberflus because of that
Yep.
awful time management at the end of the game on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
37% owned. He went 256 for 3 tutties this last week. 34 points in the last 2 games. So
Yeah.
Last week he scored 34 points. This week he scored 34 points. So
Nice. Okay.
it's hard to argue with that, man.
Yeah,
He's over a lot of quarterbacks out there.
he's finally getting the ball to two of the best wide receivers in the NFL, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. He's had them all season. I don't know why he just now discovered them.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
he's been hitting them. So both of those players are fantastic. I'm going to talk about one of them a little bit later when we get to our wide receiver section. But yes, he's finally passing the football.
Yep, absolutely. Cool.
Yep.
Well, hit me with your first
Okay.
quarterback.
And so Russell Wilson is a guy that we both agree with. Well, actually, you know what? I'll talk about that one. Russell Wilson, 43% owned. He went for 414 passing yards and 3 touchdowns, and he's playing Cleveland next. And we all saw what happened last night with Cleveland and the Broncos, so it could be a bit of a shootout there. So it should be a good quarterback to pick up for week 13 if you need somebody. I've got Lamar Jackson on a bye, so I may actually take a look at Russell Wilson. I've actually got Stafford in there right now, but we'll see. I might look at Russell
I get
Wilson.
that exact same thing, man. I've got LJ and I've got that plugged Stafford in to kind of fill that gap.
Yeah.
But I might do the same, man. I'll see who's out there.
Yeah.
But I like Russell. Man, he's coming on. Like every game, he seems to get more and more comfortable with that offense and get better and better and look more like the Russ we used to see in the past than the last few years when he was in Denver. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about him, man. I agree with that. Cool. Well, one obvious ad here after last night's performance is Jameis Wilson or Winston.
Oh yeah,
man. I've got 4 stars in this dude. Like he carried me that one year where he threw like 50 touchdowns and 50 interceptions. Touchdowns are worth 6, interceptions are worth 2. So
true.
-2. So it's still kind of balanced out. He's 9% owned. Last night he went 497 in 4 touchdowns.
That's amazing, brother. He's always been that. Craig, he's always been that guy. Didn't he have a season where he threw like 50 touchdowns and 50 interceptions or something like that? Yeah. I mean, the guy, he's a baller. He likes to praise his Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I like that about him. He gives it up to God and says that he needs help with these turnovers. I think was his quote last night. I need to pray on that, man. I need the Lord to save me from these turnovers.
Well, I thank the Lord for that last one because that
yeah, there you go. You're right. So you were blessed for sure last night, brother. I love it.
Yeah, I think the Lord was looking out for both sides there.
Yep, for sure.
Maybe I was the only one that won my matchup because of that last pick, but maybe not. Maybe there's somebody else out there. Speak up. Send us a note if you won your matchup in that last pick.
Yeah, exactly. Hit us in the comment section.
Yeah, hit us in the comments. Nice, man. Well, yeah, and he's got Pittsburgh coming up, which you saw Burrow kind of chewed through the Pittsburgh defense last week. KC for that, and Cincinnati. So I think he's a nice little run through the playoffs.
Yeah,
quarterback.
And that's what I'm debating, Craig. I actually have him already in 2 leagues that I picked him up just because I needed a good backup quarterback because I've got Tua going in a couple of one of them I've got. Let's see. One of them I got Tua and Joe Burrow, and then the other one I've got Tua as my only quarterback, and I picked up Jameis Winston. And I'm kind of thinking to myself, should I play Tua or Jameis? I don't know, man. Once I get to the playoffs, I may call his number when we get to weeks 15, 16, 17.
I don't know. Not blame you one bit, brother.
Yeah,
he's playing better than Tua right now.
Yeah. Tua's been on fire too, though. So it's like, wow, I just don't know, man. I'm just gonna have to really study, like, how does Tua play well against the Jets? You know what I mean? That's what he's got coming up next, right? Yeah. So I may have to kind of look at that and think, does Winston play well against the Steelers better than Tua against the Jets? I don't know. I have to make some tough decisions as it gets closer to the weekend. So
with you.
But he's a good one to have, brother. Go out and get Jameis if he's out there, because one thing you don't want to do, Craig, is be playing against him in the playoffs.
Right, exactly.
So even as a defensive move, you might just grab Jameis even if you don't need him.
I like it.
Yep. All right. So last one up is Matt Stafford. I know you and I both have him sitting in the captain seat where we have LJ. He plays the Buffalo Bills this coming weekend. He's 64% owned. He's been turning it on pretty well lately, hitting Puka Nuka, hitting Cooper Kupp,
Yeah.
Also, even hitting the running back, with some short passes. So, this could turn into a shootout between is at home. It's in Los Angeles in their home stadium on turf, indoors. So you don't have to worry about the snow like you would up in Orchard Park. But this could end up being a bit of a shootout, but then there's also the Buffalo Bills D, which is pretty good. So it kind of gives me some pause there, but I don't know. He's an option for sure. If Winston ain't out there and, you don't feel comfortable with Russ, Matt Stafford might be your guy this weekend.
Yep. I agree with that, brother. I like him.
Yep.
You and I both
Cool.
like him.
So. Yep. All right, we'll talk about the man of the hour, the number one waiver wire priority for every person in every fantasy league across America tonight. Talk about him.
Yeah, this is exactly why you and I like to just sit and pick people up on Wednesday morning when everybody else is still sleeping and save that waiver wire pick. Was able to do it in one league. I'm sitting at number 2. But Isaac Gerendo. Yeah, I got 4 stars on him, man. Like, this is a go.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
C-Mac
all in. Push all your chips in the middle. If you're on one of those fab things, just blow it all. Whatever you got left in that account, dump it on there.
Right.
Go get it. Go get him. That's your guy.
He's 99% available in leagues out there. So,
yep.
We won't talk about his performance. He did score a touchdown. We've seen him. I mean, the guy's fast.
Yeah.
He's
solid.
He runs in a good offense. And he's the dude. So we'll get him.
Yeah, exactly. C-Mac IR, Jordan Mason IR. So it's his show for here on out. Go get him. Garendo.
Yep.
All right. Okay, next up is I've got Zach Charbonnet, like a fine wine, a Charbonnet, 1 star, 40% owned. If K9 goes down, he can carry the load. I've seen him do it before. I've had him in the past few seasons, whenever K9 went out, and he's solid. He can run it. So just as insurance, if you're a K9 owner, or if you just have some room at the end of the bench, and because there's 3 or 4 more games left in the season, so if something happens to K9, Charbonnet will be a good one to get you through.
I like that, man. I mean, he's always been a pretty decent runner, a pretty decent fill-in. So that's a good one. That's one I'll probably go out there and look at. And I mean, that's kind of the same thing with this Amir Abdullah, who I'm bringing to the table. We got 1 star on him. He's in the game. He returns kicks. I like that. Some points that way too. That Vegas defense is just not very exciting, but number 8 seems to keep on showing up. So he's somebody that'll get you some points. He may have a game, may have one of those games where he just goes off for you. But if you're sitting there with Joe Mixon and King Henry and a couple guys like that are on bye, it might not be a little bad option for you.
Yeah, especially if you play in one of those leagues that gives you, return yards points, like you're saying. I like at least 1 or 2 of my leagues makes it as to where every 10 return yards you get a point. So if somebody does really well on the return game, let's say they get 100 yards, returning kickoffs and punts all day, well, there's 10 points for you right there. So that's solid. Very, very good. Yeah, in leagues that award the return yards, go grab them. Amir Abdullah. So looking good, brother. All right. Last up is Ray Davis, plays for the Buffalo Bills. Very, very similar scenario to Charbonnet. 17% owned. Week 13, he actually had 11 carries for 63 yards and a tutty. So he actually is being used. That was kind of a bizarre game. It was a snow game. And so one of those, strange situations where, it's kind of backyard football, anything goes. He just happened to get lucky. And, I guess Cook was taking a breather, and he was in at the right time for those carries and touchdowns. So, but I mean, especially if you're a Cook owner, or even if you're not a Cook owner, grab Ray Davis and have him sitting at the end of the bench. Maybe do either or, Charbonnet or Davis, or maybe kind of if you play in multiple leagues, just try to get a combination of these guys on the end of your benches, because if something happens to Cook, Ray Davis is the man.
Yeah,
good rookie, real good rookie.
Yeah. I liked him. I've carried him on a couple of my squads. I think I've dropped him due to waiver wire claims or whatever it might be, but he's definitely got that potential, and he looks good.
Yep.
I like it, brother.
Good deal. All right, that's it for running backs, brother. So talk about this fantastic wide receiver that's been performing and is somehow only 19% owned.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Nick Westbrook Ikhine. I think I'm nailing that pronunciation.
Ick Heine. Let's call him Heine.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Heine.
Westbrook Heine. I get 2 stars on him. Potentially could be 3 stars. I mean, if you're in desperate need.
Oh yeah, I'd say 3. Yeah, I'd say 3.
I mean,
he's been earning 3.
He's good for a touchdown. Like 19% owned. He went 3 for 61, 2 tutties this last weekend, 8 touchdowns in the last 8 games. Like,
wow.
I don't know why he's the one that just keeps on finding the end zone, but he is, and I don't have to know why. It doesn't matter.
Right.
And I'm sure Ridley's a little pissed off about it, but I don't care. You guys finding the end zone, so yeah, go get him.
Yeah. Totally agreed, brother. I actually have a waiver claim in for Heine in 1 or 2 leagues, at least 1, maybe 2, that I've got him, waiver claims in for him already. They're already booked and ready to rock. So we'll see if I get him. But yeah, I'm definitely all in on the Heine.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Next up, I've got. I'm going to talk about Jerry Jeudy. So we both like Jeudy. 69% owned. Last night he went for 235 yards on 9 catches and a touchdown. Yeah. So the man just had a career game. He looked freaking unstoppable. And I think it was also a revenge game. So he's playing for the Cleveland Browns now. He was a star for the Denver Broncos. For some reason, Russell Wilson couldn't get the ball to him. And so he ended up getting traded away, and he made him pay. So he looked fantastic, and I expect that to continue. He's been turning it on here lately, just like Heine has.
Yeah, he looks solid, man. Looks like he's got a quarterback that can get him the ball down the field. I mean, dude, Winston missed him on another one. He had a clear 80-yard touchdown that he was 5 steps ahead of the guy. Could easily have 2 bomb touchdowns. So, those numbers could have been even higher, which is crazy.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely, man. Go get him. I think he's one of those guys that can, put somebody else on the bench that just hasn't been performing.
Exactly. 69% owned, so just under our threshold. So he's out there. Go grab him.
That's right. Cool, man. Well, next one I've got is Adam Thielen. I think we're going to see some better days as the season goes on here from him. Now that he's back from that hamstring injury, he's looking better, man. I mean, admit it or not, he's looking better. He's getting rid of the ball quicker. He's anticipating routes. And he's finding Thielen, man. He went 8 for 99 and 1 touchdown this last week, and just continues to improve. He's 27% owned. He's somebody I can count on every week.
So Craig's saying, I got a Thielen.
I got a
Thielen deep inside. Oh yeah. All right, brother. Well, good, man. Yeah. He's a very reliable guy. Been around a long time. Very dependable. Can catch the ball. Professional. So go get it.
Yep.
Yeah, it does kind of seem like the Panthers quarterback is finally starting to click. I mean, I'm not saying he's good at all, but he's finally starting to get it. I mean, it's just kind of like you were saying with Caleb Williams. I mean, this guy's finally understanding that, yes, I do play on an NFL team in the National Football League. And, I guess it just takes a while for these guys to get ramped up. I mean, hell, it took Peyton Manning a while. I mean, his first season or 2 sucked.
Yeah.
So some of these guys, it just takes them a little while to get up to the NFL speed. But, yeah, I mean.
The biggest difference is in college, you can say, okay, he's open, throw the ball.
Yep.
And in the NFL, you can't do that.
No, you got to throw them open.
Probably going to be open. Throw the ball.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
That's the biggest difference. And so once that clicks for them, man, they start looking better.
True.
Like an
You're right. Yeah. So some get it and some never get it, and they end up washing out. So you're absolutely right, brother. All right, next up we've got Keenan Allen, oldie but goodie. Guys, fantastic wide receiver. Somehow still 70% owned on the Yahoo side. I'm not sure where he's at on ESPN, but he does qualify for our threshold. Week 13, he had 5 grabs on 8 targets for 73 yards and 2 touchdowns for Thanksgiving. So he served me up 2 touchdowns on Thanksgiving Day. I don't think I had him going on any of my season-long leagues, but I know I had him going in daily. Ended up winning one of those daily Thanksgiving Day only contests,
Nice.
But
that was a good call.
Didn't win a ton of money, but maybe $7.50. I mean, better than a stick in the eye.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Yeah, man, he put up nice points on my bench. Actually, if I probably would have played him, I could have won my matchup.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that
So,
sucks.
he hasn't been reliable, but as we see Caleb Williams starting to rack up points, I think he carries Keenan and Allen right there with him. So
Yep.
they gotta really be thinking about as we get into the playoff time here.
Yeah, and I also I owned Allen in several leagues, at least one, maybe two leagues early on, and he sat on the bench like the first half of the season just because he wasn't reliable. But I've also got DJ Moore in another league, and I've actually been playing DJ Moore these past 2 weeks, and I've been
Yeah,
pleasantly surprised. He's gotten me over
sure.
20 points each week, and so as long as he's rolling, he's rolling on my team. So as far as the way things have been going,
Yeah,
hope it continues.
it's
So
like somebody sat Caleb Williams down and been like, "Hey, meet Keenan Allen, meet
yeah,
DJ Moore. They're your receivers.
yep.
What they do is they'll run routes and they'll get open, and you just throw them the
Yep.
damn ball.
Exactly. Just put it up. Put
We
it up.
didn't do it in the beginning, but
Yeah.
we're doing it now.
Right.
'Cause they're just starting to get this thing clicking, man.
Yeah.
Um,
That's what they say to him. Just put it in this general area. I'll get there. That's my
Yeah.
job to get there. You just put the ball there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they do. So, all right. Keenan Allen. Who else you got, brother?
I think
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it for wide receivers. Let's bump on down to tight ends. Who you got on the menu for us?
Yeah, what is
this
it?
week, brother?
Week 1, 2, 3 in a row, man. Juno Smith. I am recommending him. I'm recommending him with 3 stars with a lot of confidence. I will say he's in my lineup the last 3 weeks, and I've been pleasantly surprised by it. I don't see this stopping, bro. Like this is going to keep going because he's 69% owned, so just below that threshold. He should be like 99% owned at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tight ends out there. I'm sorry, there's very few tight ends that are better than him right now. 10 grabs out of 11 targets. 113 yards this last week. Didn't reach the end zone, but 30 targets in the last 3 games, man. He went 11-9 working backwards. So,
yeah,
man, he's getting his opportunities. He's taking advantage of it. He's one of those guys that, could catch it on the 20 and take it to the house. I mean, he's got speed too. So,
yep.
I don't know why the other 30% of the people out there haven't picked him up yet, but go get him if you don't have him.
For sure, brother. Yeah, totally agree. I mean, he once it's a fluke, twice you're on to something, 3 times, all right, this is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing. This is going.
Yep.
It's live. Jonunu Smith has looked fantastic. It just because typically Tua just hasn't historically thrown to his tight ends that much. I mean, it always kind of been an afterthought as far as Tua throwing to the tight end, but not ever since he came back from this last concussion. I think that it knocked some sense into him, and he's throwing to the tight end. So
maybe Juno went and visit him in the hospital or something.
Right? Yeah, brought him a big screen TV or something.
Yeah, brought him some flowers or something, man.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, he loves them. Yeah,
reintroduce himself. I don't know what happened, but.
He's definitely feeding him. He fed him for Thanksgiving, big time.
Yeah, for sure.
Made sure his plate was full with 10 catches. I love it. Yeah. All right, brother. Okay, well, Zach Ertz. So 49% owned. So he's out there in a little over half the leagues. Week 11, he had. Weeks 11 through 13. So for the past 3 weeks, he's been scoring double-digit fantasy points. So if Jonunu is gone and Ertz is still out there, go grab Ertz. He does have a bye in week 14, so he won't help you this coming weekend. But sit on him. If you're about to make the playoffs and you have room for, or if you need a better tight end, go ahead and grab him and then plug him in for the playoffs.
Like it. I like it, brother.
Yep.
All right. I think that's the only 2 we brought to the table today for tight ends. So,
yep, that's it. Yeah.
What's defensive streams look like for you?
All right, brother. So I've been really studying this pretty hard because, like I said earlier, I've got a bye this coming weekend, so I don't really care about, at least in that specific league, I don't really care about what defense I'm looking at for this week. But there are other leagues, of course, I play in that I have to look for defenses this week. But what I've been kind of doing is looking at their schedule for the rest of season. So I'm going to go ahead and hit you with the Bengals. They're a good one to get, Craig, because they got the Cowboys coming up in week 14. Then they've got the Titans and then the Browns. That Browns game, I thought it might be a cupcake, but then looking at how the Browns performed last night against the Denver D, Denver D has been historically really great this season. I don't know, man. I'm kind of worried about that game, but at least Cowboys and Titans. That should be pretty good schedule there.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Like it.
How about you, brother? Who you looking at for this weekend of stream?
Man, I got the Seahawks. It's kind of surprising, but I think they'd be a good play. They got Arizona. 2 weeks ago, that defense scored 19 points against the Arizona team, held them to 6 points.
Right.
The Seahawks are one of the lowest points against teams in the league right now. Been creating turnovers, man. I think they've got like 5 touchdowns in the last handful of games too. So
Seahawks, yeah, they've been good, right?
Yeah, so they've actually been looking pretty decent, man. I mean, flip the script. That game was in Seattle. This game's going to be in Arizona, so they may make a little bit of a difference. But otherwise, I like them.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Arizona, and I don't have them on the list, Craig, but they actually have a pretty decent schedule for the upcoming playoffs too.
Yeah.
They've got Seattle week 14, so probably not the best, but I mean, Gino's been struggling. He really has. I mean, he hasn't been great. But then they've got New England in week 15, and then Carolina week 16. So the Arizona D might not be too bad either, and 2 of those are at home, and then the one in week 16 is in Carolina.
Yeah.
So that's not a bad defense. I know I didn't put it on the list, but that's one to keep an eye on too. The Cardinals defense.
Yeah, I agree with you, brother.
All right. And so also the Eagles, they've got the Panthers coming up. So Eagles D is always pretty solid. And then the Saints, they got the Giants coming up in week 14. So those are good ones to target. So I'd be looking at, like you said, the Seahawks, the Eagles, Saints, Bengals, and Cardinals.
Yeah.
Those are three ones to look at.
Yep. I like it. Yep. Eagles are tough to get, man. I think most people have them. But if they're out there in your league, man, that's a great one. They've had the fewest points against from all the teams out there. So
stingy.
Yeah, stingy.
Yeah.
Stingy. Cool. Well, no surprise here on kicker.
Yeah.
Chase McLaughlin is my number 1 pick. He's still out there quite a bit. I think he got 15, 16 points last game. He's got Vegas coming up. It held true, man. Even though Spencer was out somehow, he got signed and then hurt himself before he can even kick for the Kansas City Chiefs. But
what was he doing? Jumping up and down because he got the job and fell into a table or something?
Yeah, I guess so, man. Couldn't tell you, man. But
walking around the house kicking shit, messed up his foot.
I guess so.
All right.
Whatever happened, but whoever they filled in with still got 13 points last week against Vegas. So now we're working 5 weeks in a row with double-digit points against Vegas, and their defense is kind of one of those bend but don't break defense. Right. You get a team that can drive the ball down the field. And Tampa Bay does take quite a few field goal opportunities. It's a great play. And then Jake Moody against Chicago, kind of the same thing, man. They've given up double-digit points to kickers almost all year. Yeah. So, even though he had a lousy game last week, I think he might be a good play this week.
Yeah, for sure, brother. I'm with you on that. But yeah, totally agree, dude. Chase, I know you and I have both been on Chase, dating back to last year in the playoffs, fantasy football playoffs. I think both you and I were on him, and he ended up being on some of our championship squads.
Yep.
So yeah, we're leaning on him again this season. 40% owned, so he's out there in 60% of leagues. So, but with having Vegas coming up this weekend, man, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's just going to continue to produce for us. So, yeah, he was clutch, man. He ended up hitting like a 55-yarder to send the game to overtime, and then he ended up winning it in overtime with a kick.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that got you 8 points right there. 5 points for the 55-yarder, and then another 3 points to seal the deal. So, yeah, good kicker. Love it. I love that guy.
Same.
So, all right. Well, that's it, brother. That's all we've got, my man. I know sometime soon we will start having these Saturday night games, but I don't think we're quite there yet because I think we still got to get through some more of these college bowl games or things like that. But as the season progresses, I think we should have some Saturday night games. But we'll have Thursday night, we'll be back at it, and then all day Sunday, and then Monday Night Football. Are there 2 Monday Night Football games? I don't know if it's this coming Monday or the following Monday, but I noticed that there might be 2 coming up at some point here. Yeah,
look, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw something kind of weird when I was looking, but yeah, I don't know if it's this coming Monday or the next, but cool. All right, brother.
Good luck out there. Go get you some good players, man. Burn that waiver wire pick. We know which one to spend it on.
Yes, sir, brother. All right, man. Well, good luck this weekend and make the playoffs.
All right.
All
You
right.
too, brother.
Peace.
See ya.